Let's have a quick conversation about building business credit. And specifically, I want to really compare and contrast three net 30 accounts. We have a Newegg Business, Amazon, and a Crown Office. And here is the advice I want to give you. If you are a startup or you are an established business trying to build business credit, I want to start with Newegg Business. So when you think about Newegg Business, I want you to think about the fact that you have a very flexible platform. And Newegg Business actually they sell a lot of stuff. Newegg as an online store sells a lot of stuff, electronics, cleaning supplies, and what have you. So Newegg is really a good net 30 option if you're looking to establish a business credit score right off the bat. And the cool thing we love about Newegg is that they actually report to two of the three major business credit bureaus. So you have Dun and Bradstreet, and you also have Equifax. Okay, and because a lot of times those net 30 vendors, some actually will report to one credit bureau, but very rarely would you have a two or three bureau reporting. So that's really good already right off the bat. So you also have no mandatory application or subscription fee, so you can save a lot of cash on that front. And some players actually like to charge you for the application also. And you are able to buy office equipment, electronics, and software. So you have a large variety of items that you can buy that your business, either a startup or established business, will need anyway. So that's really good. But I want to insist on the fact that the reality here is that Newegg Business actually reports to Equifax Business and Dun and Bradstreet, so you're really covered. I mean, you can actually bump up your paydesk score on the Dun and Bradstreet side, and then your Intellis score on the Equifax side. So that's really good already. Now, what you want to do here is to actually find another net 30 vendor that reports to Experian. So you actually can solve favorably the business credit equation. So this is kind of cool, right? And also what you want to do also is that if you want to plan your purchases in such a way that you are able to buy office equipment, electronics, and software all from Newegg Business. So that's a really good proposition here. Let's talk about how to qualify for a Newegg Net 30 account. So the cool thing about Newegg is that it doesn't matter. I think I've said this before. It doesn't matter if you are an established business or a new business. No problem. They don't have like this sort of eligibility requirements. Like you got to be in business for 6 months or 9 months before qualifying for a Net 30 account. Okay. And the cool thing is that you have the ability to actually accelerate things real fast. So, and you can submit an application online. You don't have to call them. Like some players like Granger, sometimes they want you to call customer service. But Newegg actually has established itself as an online platform, so you can actually apply for your Net 30 account online. But you need to actually have before you apply online, you need a Newegg Business account. Okay, so this is important because this is a two-step process. First, they have to approve you as a Newegg Business. They have to approve for a Newegg Business account, and then they will approve you for a Net 30 account. And then, but the thing is that to be approved for a Newegg Business, you just got to have like your registered business name. Please make sure that you actually send them your registered business name, not your DBA. No, your registered business name, because what will happen here is that they will contact state authorities to make sure that the business is valid, the business is legit. So you got to have a certificate of good standing to make sure that your business is actually in good standing before actually qualifying for a business account with a Newegg Business. Okay, that's the only thing they're really strict on. I mean, they're not they don't care about. I mean, they do care, but they're not really worried about you being financially financially deficient, like you being financially shaky. They want to make sure you are legit. They'll ask you for your registered business name. They'll ask you for the number of employees you have, your DUNS number, your registered business address, and your industry group and the classification. So that's a really important element. And what will happen here is that once they approve you for a Newegg Business account, then you can actually proceed to the Net 30 account application. And at that time, they will ask you for stuff like your bank references, your trade references, and your desired credit limits. How much you want them to give you as a Net 30 limit. and it'll probably take like 15 to 30 days before they actually approve you. Now, I want to talk to you about Amazon. So we're also having a compare and contrast between Newegg Business versus Amazon versus Crown Office Net 30 account. Now, the cool thing about Amazon is that you have a large behemoth, right? I mean, large behemoth. That's a tautology. You have a behemoth in the electronics, not just electronics, but in the e-commerce world. You have a behemoth, right? And so one thing I want to say here is that the Amazon Net 30 account isn't the best choice for those looking to build business credit because unfortunately, Amazon doesn't report the trade line to any business credit bureau. I mean, Amazon will grant you a Net 30 account, but they don't want to bother with reporting your payment history or whatever history you have, your transactional history to the credit bureau. So the big question is, do you really need it? Well, you might need it if you are looking for let's say discounts, if you're looking for good deals, because Amazon has given the depth and breadth of the platform has pretty good prices, right? But if your goal is to actually build business credit, in other words, have your trade lines being reported to a Dun and Bradstreet, to Equifax Business or Experian Business, Amazon is not really the right partner unless you buy a lot. If you buy a lot from them and you're able to contact customer service, they'll be able to actually hook you up. Okay, that's totally possible, but you got to buy a lot. So when you think about Amazon, think about the fact that they don't report to the credit bureaus, no mandatory application or subscription fees. You can upgrade to extend payment terms, so you can go from net 30 to net 60 to net 90, and you can shop Amazon's uniquely diverse catalogs. That's what I said a little earlier. So that's really good. I mean, having the ability to extend your liquidity, like let's say your repayment window, is a great opportunity for your liquidity. That's for sure. That's what I said before. If your goal is to build business credit, then Amazon is not really the partner here. But if your goal is to manage cash flow, if your goal is to actually look at your working capital, if your goal is to make sure that you are having the best prices possible, then Amazon will be a great supplier, a great vendor for you. Let's talk about Amazon Net 30 account requirements. So I've already established the fact that Amazon Net 30 account won't help you build business credit. But the cool thing is that this Net 30 account may still be worth having if you expect to buy regularly from the vendor, right? If you're interested, you want to register for an Amazon business account. You want to start the process on the business version of the Amazon website by supplying your name, email, and password, and Amazon will email a code to verify your account, then repeat the process with your phone number. One thing I want to say here is that Amazon wants you to be a legit business. Okay, in other words, you got to be organized or incorporated, because they might ask you for a certificate of good standing, which means this is something that you can only get from state authorities. So now, can you qualify for a Net 38 business account if you are a sole proprietorship? Yes, you can certainly be qualified. But the thing is that you might need a DBA, doing business as. Again, this is a document that you have to receive from state authorities. So you can see that if you want to do business with Amazon, even though the process is pretty straightforward, pretty easy, they still want to make sure that they are dealing with a legit person, a legit business that actually complies with all the rules and regulations that the state authorities and federal authorities have put in place. So we're talking about compliance at the federal level, but also at the state level. This is really good. And you also might have to provide some background details, including your legal entity type and business address. And once you click submit, Amazon will need 3 to 7 days to verify your information, and they'll let you know. Okay. And during that time, it will also evaluate your eligibility for pay by invoice. That may involve reviewing your business credit reports and any previous Amazon purchases. And if you are approved, you will receive an email inviting you to activate your credit line. So that's the process here. And one thing I want to say here is that as a new Amazon business customer, you'll have a limited time to activate pay by invoice. Wait too long and Amazon will reduce your credit line's limit to 0. And you can request an increase later, but Amazon will need, again, 3 days to reassess your eligibility. So you gotta be really really fast here. I want to talk to you about Crown Office. So we are still having a conversation about building business credit with Net 30 accounts, and we are comparing and contrasting Newegg Business, Amazon, and Crown Office. So when we think about Crown Office, what should you be thinking about? Well, as a Net 30 office supply vendor that reports to all three major credit bureaus and only has a $30 minimum purchase amount, we feel like Crown Office supplies can offer a reasonable value to many business owners looking to build business credit. Can you imagine? You have a Newegg Business reporting to two. You have Granger reporting to one. You have a Quill reporting to one, and the Crown Office supplies report to all three. They report to Equifax Business, Experian Business, and Dun& Bradstreet. Now, the main drawback is that they require a $99 annual fee to report payment history on a Net 30 account. Because you have to understand, for a vendor to report your transactional activity, it's a lot of effort. It's also a lot of time that they have to put into this thing. Okay, so they just want to make sure they are compensating themselves for the effort. Now, why should you consider a Crown Office Supplies Net 30 account? Well, Crown Office Supplies, as I just said before, reports to all three major credit bureaus. The application process is very quick and easy. They sell a wide range of office supplies and other products. There's only a $30 minimum purchase amount, but you have to account for the $99 that they charging you for the effort to report your activity. Okay. By the way, when I talk about $99, it's every year because they're reporting your data to the bureaus every month actually. And so basically, this is an important element. And they sell a wide range of office supplies and other products that you might need anyway. Okay, so I'm talking about what office supplies, including notebooks, pens, pencils, scissors, folders, and glue. However, there are plenty of other products you can purchase using vendor credit with a Net 30 account, including electronics, calculators, T-shirts, mobile accessories, wall arts, industrial gloves, seasonal products like Christmas, Halloween, Thanksgiving. So that's really good. So while most business owners will initially be interested in this vendor for office supplies, their product line goes much deeper than that. So that's really awesome. And the application process is very quick and easy. So we love that also. That's really fantastic. You have the opportunity to get things done a lot faster. It's just great. Now, let me talk to you about the Crown Office Supplies Net 30 requirements. First of all, you need to have a US-based business that has been around for at least 90 days to be eligible for a 30-day payment term. So we are speaking about you having a legit business that's properly organized in one of the 50 states, because the Crown Office Supplies, they'll ask you for state authorities agreement or state authorities sort of license for you to practice for you to operate as a business in your geography. And note that Crown Office Supplies is less stringent with how long a business needs to have been established than many competitors. So next, you will need to have 25% or greater ownership of your company and have a legal business name, business address, and phone number. You also need to have an EIN from the IRS, and this you can apply for one if you haven't done so already. So this is really good. And also, as I said a little earlier, you'll need the DUNS number. And the DUNS number, you can do it yourself. You can actually apply yourself. You don't need to pay a third party company to sort of take care of you. Not a problem. No, you can do it yourself. And so basically, you'll need to like one thing for sure. When we talk about the DUNS number, you can do this on Dun& Bradstreet's website. But you also need to pay the $99 annual fee and have a $30 minimum order purchase to unlock 30-day payment terms from this vendor. And finally, and this is an important one, you can't have any derogatory or late payments on your business credit reports. As long as you check all those boxes, you should be eligible for a Net 30 account and can use a trade credit to improve your business credit history. So this is cool because they are actually helping you to understand what really happens. I mean, what really matters and what doesn't matter. So, and that's what you want anyway in the first place. So, Newegg Business versus Amazon versus a Crown Office. Which one should you go for? But before we give you our answer, let me give you a couple of recommendations here. So when we talk about it, Net 30 accounts, you have to really understand that Net 30 accounts really stand as a cornerstone in business finance, offering really a unique blend of flexibility and credit management. So we're speaking here about cash flow management, cash inflows, and cash outflows, right? And so the Net 30 accounts are pivotal for businesses of all sizes, and because they allow them to buy now and pay within 30 days. And this short-term credit arrangement, often termed as vendor credit, supplier credit, or trade credit, empowers all kinds of businesses to, when you think about it, to manage cash flow more effectively, and also in the process build credit history, right? So by deferring payment for goods and services, businesses can align expenses with revenue cycles, enhancing their financial stability and operational efficiency. So that's really good. And Net 30 account are not just financial tools, they are actually strategic assets in today's fast-paced commercial world, helping all kinds of businesses, including yours, through cash flow challenges while fostering growth and sustainability. So that's really cool. You have the ability to get things done faster. And Net 30 accounts differ from credit cards, which often require monthly minimum payments and charge interest on the remaining amounts. A Net 30 account, in contrast, requires full payment within a 30-day time frame, aligning really closely with the business's billing and revenue cycles. So this is really good because this synchronization offers businesses a more practical approach to managing their financial operations, especially when compared to the rigid structures of traditional credit systems. So that's really good. In terms of Net 30 accounts, you have several types of Net 30 accounts that you need to be aware of. You have vendor credit, you have supplier credit, you have trade credit, and you have Toolbox Net 30 charge card. And a Toolbox Net 30 charge card is a more structured form of Net 30 credit issued by the financial service provider Toolbox. And unlike vendor or supplier specific credits, a Toolbox Net 30 charge card can be used with various vendors. It still adheres to the 30-day payment term but offers more flexibility in terms of where it can be used. What about the differences and similarities that you need to really to be aware of? So when we talk about you have the scope of use. So the primary difference lies in the scope of use. Vendor or supplier credits are typically limited to transactions with the issuing entities. So that's an important element to remember. And while trade credit and Toolbox Net 30 charge cards offer a wider accessibility across different vendors and suppliers. Now, of course, you also have the payment terms, the credit reporting, and also interest and fees. There are also benefits of using Net 30 accounts. You have a cash flow management improvement of cash flow management. You have building business credit score. You also have enhanced vendor relationships. So that's really an important element to think about. And one thing I want to say here is that you have the ability to get things done a lot faster. It really depends on what you have. It depends on what you probably need to constantly adjust your risk profile to make sure that whatever you are getting from your supplier, your Net 30 vendor, is exactly what you want in the first place. So, what is our preference here? So, I've spoken to you about Newegg Business versus Amazon versus Crown Office. Which one should you go for? Our answer is very simple. You go for Crown Office because Crown Office actually reports to all three credit bureaus. Of course, they're charging you $99, but you can write off this $99 at the end of the day when you file your taxes, so it's still worth it. Newegg Business reports to two, so it's a really cool, it's a really good choice, but we prefer Crown Office, and Amazon doesn't report at all. So here's the bottom line to this conversation. I spoke to you about Newegg Business versus Amazon versus Crown Office. I gave you our advice, our recommendations, and our preference. Thank you so much. God bless you. I'll see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.